Alright folks, welcome back to the shop. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a video, getting a little bit behind schedule, but you know, life kind of steps in and changes things for you. But anyhow, today we're going to be looking at an IP camera. We're going to be looking at the Sunba IP pan tilt zoom camera. And I've been dealing with security cameras for a long time, just kind of as a hobby. You know, I'll buy the cheap Foscam cameras, and they're made for indoor and hang them outdoor, and they'll last a year or so. But this is a pretty unique camera here. One thing that's unique about it is the price. Very inexpensive. This camera here was only like $315 off of Amazon. And another unique item about this camera is that it's a power over Ethernet. So you simply run one Ethernet cable to it and you are good to go. No need to run a power cord to it or put it in a camera location that doesn't have any power. It really makes wiring these things up amazingly easy. Now this one thing I was concerned about, whether I needed the power adapter to run power for the external microphone, and much to my surprise, when you power it over Ethernet, it powers the jack for the external microphone, and it works wonderful. But where this camera really shines at is its night vision capability, and I'll show some video from night vision. But I've got it on the corner of my pool house out there, and it looks out over the field, and I've just got a variety of critters that come in, hogs and deer and coyotes. And this thing has got a 20 power zoom on it, and it really is amazing. The pan tilt zoom camera that I've had for probably the last 15 or 20 years, since I moved here in '91, you know, I put up a security camera. It was thousands of dollars for that thing, and it doesn't have near the capability that this camera has. It's got infrared lights on it, and two of them that actually zoom in. As you zoom in the camera, the infrared lights adjust to whatever your zoom power is. So it's pretty amazing, and it works extremely well. And again, being able to power it over Ethernet is the real key here. Before you would have had to run a data line to it, a twisted pair to run the fan and the heater and everything that's inside the camera. And this is a Sony camera that's inside there. I think it's 1.5 inches by 8 or something. But it's a pretty common high-res Sony camera that's inside of there. But powering it over Ethernet, again, you can run just one wire to it, one Cat5 cable, and it's an IP camera. Then you can dial it into your internet security program, and the software that comes with these cameras, it's not the best. It's just something that's custom made for them. But I've been using Blue Iris for many years, and it's a solid security camera software. It's about $59 for a license, but it's not bad. They're constantly coming out with updates, and it's pretty solid software. But I'm going to give you a video tour showing the capabilities of this camera. I'll show you some daylight clips and some night clips. Maybe even get some critters involved here. Alright, so here we go. Let's get started looking at that. One other thing, folks, I forgot to mention the model number of this camera. It's the Sunba Tech 601-D20X, and this is the PoE, which is power over Ethernet. And if you're going to do that, be sure you get one of these power over Ethernet injectors. Now this is uses a new standard that guarantees the voltage out for it. It's let's see, it's a TPE 115GI, but at any rate, it uses the latest standard that guarantees 12 to 48 volts out to your camera. If you've got a DVR, some of those put power out over Ethernet, but due to the infrared lights on these cameras, it takes up a lot of voltage. If you are running low voltage, it'll probably work fine during the day, but at night when it kicks into IRs, it'll probably start rebooting and you'll have some issues with it. But I think 300 meters you can run this power, which is a darn good ways. I don't have to go near that far, but at any rate, I like them. Price is right. You're looking at $315 for the camera on Amazon, and I think this was another 20 or 30 bucks. Anyhow, the whole thing delivered and all was $359, which for the capabilities, it's pretty amazing and well worth it if you're into that sort of thing. Anyhow, here we go, folks. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit the like button. Alright folks, here we're looking at the camera go through its paces in some daylight mode using the Blue Iris interface, which is a pretty solid software. I've been using it for a long time. I think actually 59 bucks got me 3 licenses, put it on 3 different computers. But the camera really works well. As of this filming, this is actually the second one of these pan tilt zoom cameras I've got. I've got them in 2 locations. You can cover a lot of ground with these cameras as opposed to a fixed security camera. It ends up being somewhat of a toy when you're playing with it too. But the audio helps too. You can set it to alarm out. But night vision is where this thing really comes into play. You know, I've got an infrared night scope for one of my rifles, and this thing is as clear as that is, and it's got a 20 power zoom. So it really does work well in night vision. To me, that's where it shines. I don't know if this video will do it justice, but it really works well. And we're panning through its little tour. This is the one on the front of the house. And that windmill's probably 100 yards or so away. But that woods line is at 150, 200 yards. This is out down the road. And that's the shooting range that I've been working on. And maybe we'll get to see some critters up in here. But as you zoom this camera in, the infrared lights adjust and focus the beam to enhance the picture quality, which was pretty impressive. The protocol that this camera runs off of is pelco-d. If you dealt with any security cameras before, a lot of analog cameras use that protocol to adjust the iris, and actually it's for the speed dome settings, you know, the rate at which it traverses. And this camera will do endless 360, so it doesn't have a limit. It can just go around and around, and and it'll tilt 15 degrees above the horizon and then go through 90 degrees down, which is helpful. If you got a camera that's just 90 degrees, this woods line view is about as high as you're going to see. But this thing will tilt all the way up to the sky. Now that, again, this shot here is way back by the pond. That's probably 300 meters back, all the way back there. So, pretty powerful night vision. It looks like there's a rabbit or something back there. See the eyes shining from the IR reflection. It looks like another rabbit there in the field. And here we got a coyote that's walked out there. I've got several coyotes that's been coming out there, and when they get to howling, it sounds like a dozen of them. These things are really sensitive to that IR light. They'll IRs put out a red glow if you're looking at them. Of course, the deer don't care. They just sit there and eat the corn. Got a few bucks, a lot of does. This looks like a 6-pointer or something here. Right there eating with the rabbit. Of course, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I've got hogs and got quite a few hog hunts. These are a couple new arrivals here. I hadn't seen these two before. When do you want it? What do you want? When do you want it? What do you want? No justice? No peace. No justice? No silence. No justice? No justice? That's right. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? What? What do we want? When do we want it? You sure? No justice? How about some food? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? When do we want it? No justice? Even you getting tired of that crap, huh? What? Look at me. Want some food? When do you want it? Right now? Alright, here we go. Here we go. Tell them bye, Zeke. Goodbye, Zeke. Alright, here we go.